Ram Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Jai
Hare
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपी कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय।
Jai
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा जय।
Hare Krishna, everybody.
हरे कृष्णा सचिन।
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna everyone.
हेलो रवि। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna everyone.
Alright, तो कल हम लोगों ने अध्याय 33 शुरू किया, या चैप्टर 33, and this is the final chapter of Cantos 3, right? Third जो book है, there are 12 books, and this is the third book we are reading, and this is the final chapter in book 3rd, and then we'll start the Canto 4 after this. Yeah. So these particular chapters, you know, we have been studying Sankhya Vigyan, Sankhya Yoga, and given by Kapil Muni, and जैसा कि हम लोग जानते हैं, Kapil Muni is none other than avatar of Lord Vishnu himself. Yeah. So think about this, like Lord Vishnu himself is giving us this transcendental knowledge. Yeah. And he's explaining it to Mother Dehuti. So in previous chapters, he has explained everything. Hare Krishna, Rasiksha Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
And you know, he has explained, as we know in all these previous chapters, how this universe has been created, what are the elements of the universe, how everything has come together. Then he explained what is devotional service. Then he explained what is the highest human being, what this human life is supposed to be for, and what is the highest perfection of human life, right? Being a pure devotee. And then he also explained if somebody is not devotee, like just leading a general life condition, what happens in this cycle of birth and death. So after explaining all this, Mother Dehuti, now this 33rd chapter is about Kapil Muni himself, right? Activities of Kapil Muni. So as we read yesterday, Maitreya Muni is telling Mahatma Vidur that, you know, Sri Maitreya Muni said, because we know that on Ganga Tat, Maitreya Muni is answering all the questions of Mahatma Vidur about the universe and about the transcendental knowledge. And currently he is explaining about the Lord Kapil's avatar. So Maitreya Muni is then telling Mahatma Vidur that thus Dehuti, the mother of Lord Kapil and wife of Karda Muni, yeah, as we know, became freed from all ignorance concerning devotional service and transcendental knowledge. Yeah. With Kapil Muni's Updesh, yeah, she understood the devotional service and transcendental knowledge. So after understanding that, she offered her obeisances unto the Lord, the author of the basic principles of the Sankhya system of philosophy, which is the background of liberation, and she satisfied him with the following verses of prayer. Yeah. So what we are reading now, is the prayer of Dehuti, Mother Dehuti, who is mother of Kapil Muni. Yeah, she is offering prayers to Lord Kapil. Yeah, anyone who understands the basic principle of Sankhya philosophy is elevated in devotional service and becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated even within this material world. Right? So as we read, even though this world is material, not spiritual, right, currently, how can one become fully Krishna conscious and then at the end of the day go back to the spiritual world? Yeah. So we'll start with Shlok 2. Siksham Prabhuji.
देहुतिर्वाच अथाप्यजो अन्तःशरीरे शयानं भूतेन्द्रियार्थ आत्मयं वपुस्ते गुणप्रवाहं सदशेषबीजं दध्यौ स्वयं यजफलाब्जातः। ऊपर जाइए। हाँ, ट्रांसलेशन। देहुति said, Brahma is said to be unborn because he takes birth from the lotus flower, which grows from your abdomen while you lie in the ocean at the bottom of the universe. But even Brahma simply meditate upon you, whose body is the source of unlimited universes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Mother Dehuti is praying to Lord Kapil Muni, the avatar of Lord Vishnu, that Brahma is said to be unborn. Unborn is Ajay. Yeah, because he is the first person to be born, right? To be, still he's called unborn, right? But he's the first person to appear, but he takes birth from the lotus flower which grows from your abdomen, right? As we know, Bhagwan Vishnu ki नाभि से ब्रह्मा जी अपीयर होते हैं. या अजय अंतः सलीले शयानम, भगवान विष्णु जो who is lying in the ocean at the bottom of the universe. Yeah, Seshnag के ऊपर. And then he's saying, so even though Brahma is Ajay, unborn, he simply meditated upon you, because whose body is the Lord Vishnu's body, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, is the source of unlimited universes. As we know, ours is a small universe. And then, of course, there are so many universes which are coming out of the breath of Lord Vishnu, the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Yeah. And again, nice purport. So we are going to read this. Purport. Ajay?
Brahma is also called Ajay. Ajay, who is unborn. Whenever we think of someone's birth, there must be a material father and mother, for thus one is born. But Brahma, being the first living creature within the universe, was born directly from the body of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, the Vishnu form laying down in the ocean of the bottom of the universe. Devahuti wanted to impress upon the Lord that when Brahma wants to see him, he has to meditate upon him. You are the seed of all creation, she said. Although Brahma was directly born from you, he still has to perform many years of meditation, and even then he cannot see you directly face to face. Your body is lying down within the water, vast water at the bottom of the universe, and thus you are known as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Mother Dehuti is praying, and as we know, right, I think we read in previous chapters where Lord Brahma has to perform many years of meditation, right? If you remember, he tried to go up to the Nabi and he still could not locate who he is and where he come from. And then he had to meditate for like thousands and thousands of years, right? And then when Brahma, Lord Vishnu, gave him the darshan, and then actually gave him Srimad Bhagavatam, which is what then has come from Lord Brahma to Narad Muni to Ved Vyasji to Sukdev Goswami, and to we, at least we are fortunate that we can read Srimad Bhagavatam, which has come directly from Lord. Yeah. And then Garbhodaksha Vishnu we know, and from Garbhodaksha Vishnu you have Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, which is Kshirodaksha Vishnu. And then we have Lord Brahma and then Lord Shiva. Yeah. So nice. So Mother Devotee is praying it like this. Ravi?
Yes. The nature of the Lord's gigantic body is also explained in this verses. The body is transcendental, untouched by matter. Since the material in manifestation has come from his body therefore existed before material creation. The conclusion is that the transcendental body of Vishnu is not made of material elements. The body of Vishnu is the source of other living entities as well as the material nature, which is also supposed to be the energy of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Devotee said, "You are the background of the material manifestation and all created energy. Therefore, you are delivering me from the clutches of the Maya by explaining the system of Sankhya philosophy is not so astonishing. But your being born from my abandonment is certainly wonderful, because although you are the source of all creation, you have so kindly taken birth as my child. That is most wonderful. Your body is the source of all the universe, and still you put your body within the abdomen of a common woman like me. To me, that is most astonishing." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Mother Devotee is simply saying that, of course, the first of all, what is being mentioned here is that the conclusion is that the transcendental body of Vishnu is not made of material elements. And why is that? Because the material manifestation has come from Lord Vishnu, right? So he has been existing before the material manifestation took place, right? So based on that, the conclusion is that, very simple conclusion, that the Lord Vishnu is having transcendental body and not material elements, right? Excuse me. And then he is the source of all the living entities as well as the material nature, right? So the material nature as well as all the living entities, like including us. Yeah. So he is the source of all that. So what Mother Devotee is saying, that so it is not a surprise that you are the one who can give and explain how to get out of the clutches of this Maya. Yeah. By the Sankhya philosophy. But then she's also saying that, but you being born as my son is wonderful, because all the universes have come from you, but then still you are appearing from myself is astonishing, is what Mother Devotee is saying. Yeah. Anilji?
जी स एव विश्वस्य भवान् विदते गुणप्रवाहेण विभक्तवीर्यः सर्गाद्यनीहो वितथा विसन्धिर् आत्मेश्वरो तर्कसहस्त्रशक्तिः. My dear Lord, although personally you have nothing to do, you have distributed your energies in the interactions of the material mode of nature. And for that reason, the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation take place. My dear Lord, you are self-determined and are the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all living entities. For them, you created this material manifestation. And although you are one, your diverse energies can act multifariously. This is inconceivable to us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, like how do we conceive? Like if Mother Devotee is saying this, like so inconceivable to us, right? that your diverse energies connect multifariously. How can we conceive, like, how the whole cosmic manifestation has taken place, how the creation, maintenance, and dissolution, all those happens, yeah. Sahastra Shakti hai. How do we conceive that? The Sahastra Shakti which Lord Vishnu has, yeah. And it also says here, like, and in spite of his being unlimited, he has subjected himself to being known from the authoritative scriptures like the Vedic literatures. So how do we know who Lord is and where he is and what he is, right? The only way to know is through Vedic literatures, which Lord himself has made it available to us. Yeah, as it is said, Shabd Amulatvat. He can be known through the Shabd Brahma or Vedic literature. Yeah. And let's just read this, Sachin.
Why is the creation made? Since the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all living entities, He created this material manifestation for those living entities who want to enjoy or lord it over material nature. As the Supreme Godhead, He arranges to fulfill their various desires. It is confirmed also in the Vedas. Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. The Supreme One supplies the necessities of the many living entities. There is no limit to the demands of the different kinds of living entities. And the Supreme One, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, also maintains them and supplies them by his inconceivable energy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So many times people ask the questions, right? Why is this material manifestation? What is the need for that? Right? So the reason for that is because the living entities like us, probably, who wanted to enjoy or lord it over material nature. Yeah. So that's why he, Supreme Godhead, arranges to fulfill their various desires. So if we have a desire, Supreme Lord is going to fulfill that. Yeah. Satvambrito me jatharen nath katham nu yashodar et dasi Vishwam yugante vat patra ek hai shete sme maya sishurang dripan. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have taken birth from my abdomen. O my Lord, how is that possible for the Supreme One, who has in his belly all the cosmic manifestation? The answer is that it is possible, for at the end of the millennium, you lie down on a leaf of a banyan tree, and just like a small baby, you lick the toe of your lotus foot. Yeah. So it's very interestingly, it's explained that in Supreme Personality's belly, all the cosmic manifestation is there. Yeah. Vishwam Yugante. But at the end of the world, what the Patra Ek hai, what it's saying is the Bargad tree's leaves, right, on just a leaf of a banyan tree. Yeah. The Lord lies down on just a leaf, and like a small baby, he licks the toe of his own lotus foot. So it is possible that he can be born from my abdomen, is what Mother Devotees is saying. Yeah. Rithome jatarena. Nata. So, like is also being mentioned that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, but he appears as a devotee to taste the sweetness of the transcendental mellow in himself, which is tasted by Srimati Radharani, the greatest of all devotees. Yeah. So Lord appears in different forms at different times for the devotees. And in this case, in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case, yeah, Lord Krishna appears to understand and to taste the sweetness of the transcendental, the spiritual mellow in himself. Yeah. Because Srimati Radharani, who is the greatest of all devotees, as we know, yeah, how she was getting that nectar is what Lord Sri Krishna, yeah, appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to taste that taste itself. Yeah. Ajay?
Tvam deh tantra prashmaya papsmana nirdesh bhanjam cha vibho vibhuyate yatha varasvata su- sukaradayas tatha yam pyat pyatmath pathol labdhavai. My dear Lord, you have assumed this body in order to diminish the sinful activities of the fallen and to enrich their knowledge of devotion and liberation. Since these sinful people are dependent on your direction, by your own, you will assume incarnation as a boar and as other forms. Similarly, you have appeared in order to distribute transcendental knowledge to your dependents. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Mother Devata is praying to Kapil Muni, Lord Vishnu, avatar, that Prashmaya Pap Manaha Tvam Deha Tantra. Yeah, she's saying that you assume this body in order to diminish the sinful activities of the fallen and to enrich their knowledge in devotion and liberation. Yeah, and he's saying like you've taken many incarnations as a boar and other forms. Yeah, like Sukar, Dayasa. And then, so you have appeared in order to distribute transcendental knowledge to your dependents. Again, a nice purport. So let's read this. Siksham Prabhuji.
In the previous verses, the general transcendental qualification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead were described. Now the specific purpose of the Lord's appearance is also described. By his different energies, he bestowed different kind of bodies upon the living entities, who are conditioned by the propensity to lord it over material nature. But in course of time, these living entities become so degraded that they need enlightenment. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that whenever there are discrepancies in the discharge of the real purpose of the material existence, the Lord appears as an incarnation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Ravi.
The Lord's form as Kapila directs the fallen souls and enriches them with the knowledge and devotion so that may go back to Godhead. There are many incarnations of Supreme Personality of Godhead, like those of the boar, the fish, the tortoise, and the half-man, half-lion. Lord Kapil Dev is also one of the incarnation of Godhead. It is accepted therein that the Lord Kapil Deva appeared on the surface of the earth and to give transcendental knowledge to the misguided, conditioned souls. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So I think so nicely summarized what happens. Yeah. Over a course of time, the living entities become so degraded, right? We see this is Kali Yuga and we can see this degradation all over the place, right? What do we need? We need enlightenment. And to get the enlightenment is why Lord Krishna appears in different forms. Yeah, it is stated in Bhagavad Gita that whenever there are discrepancies in the discharge of the real purpose of the material existence, what is the real purpose of the material existence and the human beings is to be able to go back to Godhead, to stay in the devotional service. Yeah, when that is not happening, the Lord appears as an incarnation. Yeah, to direct the fallen souls. Enrich them with the knowledge and devotion. That's why the Lord takes so many incarnations, is what is being mentioned, to give transcendental knowledge to the misguided, conditioned souls, which we are, all of us, misguided, conditioned souls. So luckily, at least we can read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we'll pause here since we only have 1 minute. We'll hear the Kirtan and then we'll see you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Or Indian time 7:30 a.m. Yeah. So we'll hear the Kirtan and then we'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Sri Krishna Das Tahi Mana Bhai Jai Radha Giri Varadhari वृषभानो दुलारे श्री नंद नंदन वृषभानो दुलारे वृषभानो दुलारे राधे वृषभानो दुलारे वृषभानो दुलारे राधे वृषभानो दुलारे